Hey, what's up, you guys? It's your girl, Love Ashe, back at you with another video. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and do that. Give this video a thumbs up and leave your girl a comment down below. All right, listen, y'all. So this September message is going to be two parts, okay? So we're going to look at the collective energy here and what Spirit is showing for all of us, right? What's going on with the collective family. And, you know, if you want to see what is happening personally for you, I'm going to do a pick a card reading right after this on Patreon Live, okay? And that's patreon.com/ascend with Ashe, baby, okay? And eclipse season is here, y'all. Eclipse season is here, y'all. And so Spirit is really like shifting timelines for us. And so, you know, the vibes are going to be very big. The energy is going to be loud, okay? So we're just going to get into it and see what Spirit is saying to the collective right now, okay? Hey, Coco. Okay. Let's get into it, y'all. So again, I already pulled cards for the pick a card as well as for the collective message, so we can kind of get flowing, okay? So this card is going to be representing what we collectively are needing to release. Okay, did I say that this is going to be what we need to release, what we are going to be receiving, what's the lesson behind it? And then I pull some additional cards for spiritual guidance and advice from our spiritual teams in the Most High, right? Okay, so we have, what is this? The 8 of Wands, okay, for what we need to release. Well, that's a good punch. And what we are receiving is the Chariot in reverse, okay? And this is the, well, I guess I'll wait for these. Okay, so starting off with the 8 of Wands here, okay, baby? Clear as day. Spirit is saying, release the rush, okay? Baby, we going nowhere fast, so you might as well just slow the fuck down. Slow down. And enjoy the view, my girl, okay? Slow down and enjoy the view, family, because we ain't going nowhere fast. So you can go ahead and release the rush, okay, baby? That's why I said it's like a gut punch, okay? Like, I know collectively we're all in this energy where we're just trying to get things done, trying to push it through, you know, trying to, you know, meet deadlines, trying to, you know, race the clock. And Spirit is like, baby, you ain't going nowhere fast, so you might as well just release the rush, okay? So the 8 of Wands is about movement, right? It's about momentum, right? It's about pushing things forward, right? But sometimes, you know, fast doesn't mean we're doing it with integrity. Fast doesn't mean that we're doing it with faith. It just means that we're trying to like get her done. You know what I mean? And so some of y'all are confusing motion with progress, okay? Baby, just because your calendar is full, that doesn't mean your spirit is fulfilled, okay? So what do you call that? What they say in the hood, like you just spinning your wheels, okay? You just spinning your wheels and you're going nowhere. The 8 of Wands is showing where we've been running on fumes, okay? Addicted to the chase, okay? Addicted to the rush of doing, addicted to the idea of being busy, of being booked up. So we don't have to face the silence of just being, the silence of not knowing where we're going, knowing what we're doing, knowing what's going on. Because if you want to be honest, we're going to get into that. You really don't know where you're going. You really don't know what you're doing, but you think that if you just stay busy, and just keep pushing and keep moving, you don't have to deal with that. You don't have to deal with that silent truth, okay? You don't have to deal with yourself. You don't have to deal with the healing, okay? And so Spirit is saying release that chaos, okay? And specifically release the chaos pace, okay? Slow down. Some of y'all, you be walking fast. Like, what did you walking in the grocery store for? What are you walking fast? Slow down. Release the urgency. We live in a culture that is gotta go, move, gotta do, gotta be better, gotta go. Spirit saying, let go of that shit. You don't have to sprint to your blessings. What's yours, right? It has your name on it. Even if you walk slow, you still gonna get it. It has your name on it, okay? It's not gonna run away from you. So God slows the pace sometimes, you guys. it's not to give us a indication that like we're behind. I feel like it's because you're about to like overwork yourself for something that's already yours, you know? Because you're missing out on it because you're moving too fast, you know? And so I feel like, you know, we're in a space where we're needing to release this culture of comparison. What they say, comparison is the thief of joy. I feel like we need to release that in the month of September. We're needing to release that. I know we feel like September, October, November, December, baby. Like, okay, it's going to be January again. But do you trust God or not? Do you have faith or not? If social media is saying to hurry up, but God is saying to slow down, who you going to listen to? Who you going to listen to? I'm going to say that again. If social media, if the world is saying to hurry up, but God is instructing you to slow down, who you going to listen to? Who are you listening to? Are you going to listen to the algorithm or the assignment? Okay? Because likes and followers can't open the door that God has for you. Okay? Spirit is saying slow down so you don't miss me. Slow down so you don't miss me. You about to miss your ride, boo. You about to miss your ride. Slow down so you don't miss me. That way you don't miss out on what I have for you. Okay. So then we have here the Chariot in reverse. Okay. The Chariot in reverse is what we're going to receive. Okay. The blessing that we're going to receive from this release, right? And it's the Chariot in reverse, y'all. And so what I hear from this is God not allowing us to just keep driving ourselves like crazy and like going nowhere, you know? It's almost like Spirit is putting bumpers in the lane. You know, when they like doing a high speed chase, y'all, I be coming up with the craziest examples. But y'all know when they're doing the high speed chase and they trying to stop a car and they throw them little spikes out. That's what the Chariot in reverse gives me. It's like God putting them bumpers right in the middle of the road so you can slow down. So you can slow down because either you're going the wrong damn way, okay? But you're going so fast, okay? You're going so fast. Spirit has to put these damn bumpers in the way to slow you down, okay? So yeah, okay? So yeah, you're frustrated. You're frustrated with all these delays. You're mad as hell, right? But I feel like in the month of September, these delays, they're really us being recalibrated, okay? I don't know why, if it's just me, but I still feel like maybe it's because we're entering into eclipse season, but I still feel like it's retrograde. Okay, it's very much giving Mercury retrograde. It's just retrograde season in general, you know? So I feel like you're being taught how to drive with more awareness, how to be more conscious of where you're going and not just the fact that you're moving forward. That's something that I really have a hard time with, you guys, which is why I don't like driving, is because I literally will say, okay, I'm going to Walmart, right? I'll say I'm going to Walmart and I will literally just drive. I don't look at no signs. Like, I just be driving straight to Walmart because I got that end game in mind. I'm trying to get to Walmart, right? But that's why I don't know directions, y'all. I can literally live somewhere for forever and don't know, like, oh, what street is that? What? Because I don't pay attention to that shit. I'm going straight to Walmart. What I need to know, the exit, I just need to know I have to go here. It's next to this. Like, that's how my brain works, you know? And I feel like this is important for today's message because we're learning to pay attention to our surroundings. Pay attention to the exit sign. Pay attention to the streets before your destination. Pay attention to the cars around you, okay? Pay attention to the sounds you hear your car making while you're driving, you know? And not just be so, like, focused on just getting to this end goal, your end game. And so this month is about alignment through discipline. Okay, not the hustle culture. Okay, because spirit is pulling you back into your own lane so that you can move with intention and not just this 8 of Wands momentum. Okay, and also this card says here, it says self-discipline, lack of direction, lack of control, aggression. So this is also a time for us to learn discipline, self-discipline, to slow down and not follow the crowd. Yeah, right? Keep your head on a swivel. Right, exactly. That's so true. Okay, so let's see what we got here. So these next cards are going to be the lesson, like why we're going through this right now, why we're being slowed down, why we're being asked to keep our head on a swivel, okay, to pay attention to where we're going. Release. Okay. Okay. So Spirit's saying release the timeline, release the pressure, release the old story that it has expired, okay? And for somebody specific, this is about releasing the lie that you're behind. That's why you're going so fast, is because you keep telling yourself every day that you're getting older and older and older. You should have had this by now. Spirit is saying release the lie that you're behind. That is the rope that's keeping you tied to desperation, okay? This process is holy. This process is sacred. What's for you isn't slipping away. Social media will have you thinking that your blessings are going to go, they're going to go to somebody else. Okay? What's for you is waiting on you to let go of what you don't need to carry anymore. Okay? So the lesson that we're learning in the month of September is how to release, how to let go, and how to trust in our spiritual team, how to trust the Most High, how to trust the fucking process, okay? And how to see everybody else literally running. This is what I'm seeing here as well. Everybody, and this is why I love doing collective messages, okay? Follow me, y'all. Everybody is racing the clock, right? Just imagine a race. Everybody's racing the clock. They're determined, they're running, they're focused on the end game. And other people see people running and they say, oh, I got to do that. But they don't know deep down inside that person that's running doesn't really know what's going to happen. They don't really have faith. Okay, they're running without integrity. They're running with no rest. They're running with their spirit empty, but we just see them running. It's kind of like, what they say with black people, when you in an environment and you see a black person running, you just start running. That's what Spirit is showing me. Like, we just running. Have anybody stop and ask, hey, why we running? That's what Spirit is saying right now. Let's stop, y'all. Hey, why we running? And quickly, you're going to realize that nobody know why we running. Don't nobody know. We don't know why we running. We just know we seen somebody else running. We just know we seen somebody else running. And that means that we need to be running. Okay? Because if you keep chasing without questioning, what happens is you inherit other people's panic. And some of y'all been living in borrowed anxiety. You got fear that don't even belong to you, okay? Faith, the beautiful thing about faith, y'all, is that faith has a pace, okay? Faith doesn't look like chaos. Faith doesn't look like a frenzy, okay? It looks like you going with the flow. Integrity has a pace. Integrity honors rest. Integrity honors spirits. Integrity honors the self. So September is teaching us, don't just run because everybody else is running. Stop and ask yourself, what am I really moving towards? Because I'd rather walk with God than be sprinting with a crowd that don't even know where they're going. Okay. So now we have, these are just some additional spirit messages here. We have heavy heart. It says, take time to nurture your emotional wounds. Okay. And then we have financial freedom. You may be feeling trapped in regards to the amount of money that is currently flowing into your life. And we pulled this card for our previous collective message where we were talking about, you know, collectively, everybody's feeling like financially, like, where's the money at? Okay. Where is it going at? Okay. What's going on? Okay. And so this is literally Spirit giving us the blueprint. Okay. Spirit is giving us the blueprint as to why we're experiencing this. Do I want to read this one from the book, or let me just put these here? Hold on. So Spirit is saying pretty much, oh Lord. Okay. Spirit is saying pretty much, don't skip over your wounds like they're not there. Okay. Heavy hearts. Okay. Heavy hearts, they can't run light. Heavy hearts can't run fast. Okay. And some of y'all have been trying to move forward. Okay. Carrying grief, disappointment, betrayal, heartbreak. These things that you never gave yourself permission to process. So this is the month to tend to these things, because if you don't heal it, you're just going to keep repeating it. If you don't heal it, you're just going to keep repeating it. And so the connection with this, you know, heavy heart and financial freedom here is that the money story and the emotional story are tied. Yes. I'm going to say it one more time. The money story, the money problems, and the emotional problems, the emotional story is tied. The reason you feel blocked financially is because there is a wound that's still speaking lack over your life. So how we're going to pour new abundance into a fear-based life, okay? Every time you panic about money, every single time you panic about money, you stress yourself out, you worry yourself to death about money, you starve out, you literally choke the flow. Okay. Every time you tell yourself that you're trapped, you don't know how you're going to make it, you make it true. You make it so. But again, I feel like in this collective message, Spirit just handed us the blueprint here. Okay. Heal the wound to free the financial flow. Okay. If you shift this belief, if you heal whatever this is, then you're going to shift the amount of abundance literally flowing into your bank account, period. Really easy, because financial freedom, it doesn't start with dollars. That's the message here that we're learning in September, is that financial freedom doesn't start with the dollars, baby. It starts with the mind, with the scarcity mindset. Spirit is saying the words deliverance, okay? It starts with deliverance from a scarcity mindset. That's where it starts from. So this could manifest as the collective going to your job every day, saying, you know what, I need more money, so I'm going to put in more hours. You know, that's the problem. I need more money. I'm going to put in more hours. I need more money. I'm going to apply for another job. I'm just going to keep running. I'm just going to keep running. Eventually, I got to run into something. So you're tiring the body out instead of tending to your emotional needs. And so Spirit is slowing you down in the month of September, okay? I.e. Speed bumps, i.e. blockages, slowing you down so that you can really get clear on where the blockage is really. It's inside, not outside, baby. As above, so below. As within, so without. Your financial flow is a direct representation of what's going on the inside. But you too busy outside. Okay. Baby, you too busy outside. And that's the lie, okay? Is that if you just keep running, eventually you're going to hit something. But baby, all you're doing is just running yourself raggedy. What if you collapse before you ever get to the blessing? So this is also a message here about us honoring our body as a sacred temple. Your money flow is a mirror of your emotional flow, okay? Your bank account is pretty much just testifying about your spiritual beliefs, about your belief systems, about how you feel about yourself. Your bank account is telling on you. Your bank account is telling you how much you love yourself, how much you value yourself, which is why the Chariot is in reverse here, which talks about self-discipline. Your bank account is telling on you right now. But you're too busy trying to fix the outside. You're too busy out here hustling, too busy out here grinding, too busy out here comparing. And Spirit is saying, sit your ass down and heal so the flow can rise up within you first. Your financial flow is not going to come from overtime in the month of September. It's going to come from inner alignment. Okay? That's where your financial flow is going to come from. Period. Let's pull some additional cards here just to get some additional messages. Okay. All right. There are people who are literally looking at you right now with jealousy and envy in their heart, not knowing that deep down inside, it's just me and you. You have insecurity, you have grief, you have self-esteem issues. You don't know what you're doing. You like, what you jealous of me for? I don't have a clue what I am doing here on this here earth. And sometimes I've learned in my human experience to utilize those things as breadcrumbs from the universe. Because sometimes what someone sees and it makes them jealous or envious is God trying to show us what we need to take pride in. So this is also the month where Spirit is saying, take the compliment. Even if it's not a compliment, even if it shows up as jealousy, even if it shows up as envy, even if it shows up as a hater, okay? Take the compliment. Learn how, if somebody says your hair looks good, say, damn, thank you. That was the intention. If somebody say, I really love, the way you handle that, thank you. That was the intention. And see, because we're running around here with no intention for what we're putting out into the world, we don't know how to see what our gifts are. We don't know how to see what our strengths are, okay? Because we're just running on empty. So this is a great month to really take note of the compliments that we receive, okay? Take note of the compliments that you're receiving. That's the message that I'm hearing. There's something in the compliments in September. People don't envy the struggle, okay? They envy the spirit. They don't even realize that what they're looking at isn't you. It's God's hands on you. And so that your glow, okay? That's them really not even realizing that you're handling life's controversies and challenges with grace, okay? Stop shrinking. Stop shrinking yourself. Okay? If somebody notices your power, even if it comes out all twisted and fucked up, take it as confirmation. Okay? Because if you keep rejecting, thank you, God. If you keep rejecting compliments, you'll keep rejecting clarity about who you are. Oh my God, that was for me. Jesus. Wow. Wow. Well, damn. That just hit me like a gut punch, y'all. If you keep rejecting compliments, you keep rejecting clarity about who you are. That's why we don't recognize our gifts. Because, baby, you all output and no awareness. What are you intentionally putting into the world? What seeds are you sowing with your words, with your presence, with your energy? Because that is what's coming back to you. And baby, even the hate is a compliment. If you know how to hear it right. Do you know how to hear it right? Because, baby, even the hate is a compliment if you know how to hear it right. But maybe because this heavy heart, maybe because these inner child wounds, maybe because this shadow work that you need to do, okay? Maybe it's because of this healing that you ain't even hearing the hate right. Spirit is saying you ain't even hearing the hate right. Well, they say if you ain't got no haters, you ain't popping. You ain't even hearing the haters right. Okay. What we got here, y'all? What's going on? Okay. What do we got? All right, so we have twin flame. We have abuse. Well, hold up. We got abuse. Okay. We have commitment. We have love offer, which is like the Ace of Cups. And we have protection. Twin flame with the abuse card. Okay. Twin flame with the abuse card. Okay. Let's talk about this. So some of y'all are in a karmic cycle. Okay. Some of y'all are in a karmic cycle. I'm going to just say it. I ain't going to sugarcoat it. Some of y'all think y'all with y'all twin flame, but you not. You not. You like, oh, this is my twin. That's why we have to go through this. This is why. This is why we have to go through this. This is the person I'm supposed to be with. This is the person. But really, this is an abusive relationship. Okay? Spirit is saying that some of you guys are in this karmic cycle and it's dressed up as a divine connection. Okay? Just because the relationship is intense doesn't mean it's healthy. Just because this relationship is intense, again, does not mean it's healthy. Just because you've been knowing this person forever doesn't mean it's meant to be forever. Okay, I know that hurt. Because some of y'all been calling this karma, this trauma and this karmic loop that you're in with this person a twin flame. Okay, I feel like the abuse card is what's coming in the month of September. It's a reality check. Is this love or is this a lesson? I feel like that's the question that we're asking collectively. Is this love or is this a lesson? And maybe some of you guys are in a space where you're in your ego. Okay? You're in your ego. You want this relationship to work out so bad. You want to be wrong about this person. And you know what? That makes sense with why it may be so hard for you to, let go, for you to receive financial freedom. Okay? That may be that may be it. Okay, y'all, that may be it. And that may be why you're running around here, okay, just going and going. Because you're in this relationship, okay? I don't know who this is for, but you're in this relationship, you're in this situation, you're on and off, okay? You're on and off, and you don't want to accept the fact that maybe you should just move on. Maybe you should just cut your ties. Oh, look at that, y'all. Yes, release. Maybe you should just cut your ties while you're ahead, your ties with this person. But you're like, man, this pain has to be for something. This abuse has to be for something. All that I went through has to be for something. Look at that. Commitment. I have to get some type of commitment. We're supposed to get married. I'm this age. We got this many kids. Something has to come from this. And for some of you, you're not even with this person anymore, okay? You've walked away from this relationship, but you're still holding on. Your heart is still heavy. You're still holding on. You're still holding on to, this person really played in my face. This person really wasted my time. They really wasted my time. You really wasted my youth. You really lied. You really ain't shit. And it's like, it's so long as we keep holding on to the idea or the dream of what we want this person to be, we can't embrace what God is trying to bring into our life, which is a new love offer, which is new opportunities. Which is new blessings. Spirit is also saying, don't confuse obsession with love. Just because somebody, baby, just because they're obsessed with you, okay? Just because they're obsessed with you, baby, if it costs you your piece, it's too expensive, okay? So, it's interesting because September starts with Virgo season, right? We talked about that with Virgo season in a previous message, where Virgo season is about alignment. It's about devotion to self. It's about, us really focusing on our routines, right? And so September ends, I think Libra season starts September the 23rd, I believe. So we end off September with Libra representing our relationships, about alignment, about balance, about justice. So you're really about to see in Virgo season how once you align with your routines, with your rituals, when you align with yourself, how certain relationships in your life start to fall apart. Once you start focusing on you, once you return to self, you'll recognize how shady people are going to start being. But you won't notice the hate. You won't notice the jealousy. You won't notice it unless you slow down. We won't notice it unless we slow down. I'm going to pull one card from this deck here. Uh-oh. Let me pull one card from this deck here. All right, it says star power. You need engaging work that will let your talent shine. You are a natural actor and influencer. You attract fame and fortune. Let's pull another one. Money matters. It says money matters a lot now. Watch your expenses and save up for the future. You need to be prepared for the unexpected. You see how these two are connected? Your star power and your money matters. Again, bottom of the deck energy says strategy. It says you need a step-by-step plan of attack to reach the next level. Get the advice of someone who is already where you want to go. So September is about strategy. It's about healing. It's about slowing the fuck down. That's what the protection is. The protection is in the slowdown. The protection is in the slowdown. I saw a post. I don't know exactly what it said, but it was just saying how if you get on the train and you realize you're going the wrong way, the longer it takes you to get off, the longer it'll take you to get home. Something like that, y'all. And I feel like that's what September is showing us. Wow, yeah, that's the message, y'all. That's what September is showing us. The longer you take to slow down and stop and recognize that you're going the wrong way, the longer it's going to take you to be on your journey back home.